I'm Michael Meuti. I'm a commercial litigation associate at Baker Hostetler in Cleveland, Ohio. I actually got involved from the ground floor. My 1L summer, I was working actually at Baker Hostetler and reading the New York Times. There was an article about something then called the Madison Society. Thought it sounded great. Counterbalance to the Federalist Society, exactly what we needed. So I emailed a link to the article to a handful of my law school classmates and said, when we get back, we ought to do this. And I got a positive response from them. I emailed Peter Rubin at Georgetown, who was heading up what was then the Madison Society, told him we wanted to start a chapter at Stanford, and he was supportive from the beginning. So we formed an organizing committee when we got to campus, and it took off from there. I bounced around a bit. After law school, I went to Cleveland, and at that time, 2003 to 2004, there was no chapter there. I was in Cleveland for a year. I came back to the Bay Area, and I was in San Francisco for 2 years, and went to a handful of events that the Bay Area chapter was putting on, and went to my first convention, I think in 2004. After that, I returned to Cleveland. There was a chapter that had just started up. I attended a number of events there. I spent the next year, this was 2007 to 2008 now, in Columbus, and at that point there had been kind of a blue shift in state government. There were a lot of progressives who were very energetic and excited, and they were all collected in Columbus. I was still in touch with people from the national chapter, and I think it was Sarah Knight got the idea, or helped to encourage the idea that we'd start a chapter there. Dan Roth, who's now the head of the Bay Area chapter, had also come to Columbus. I'd run into him here at the convention in 2007, and once he got to Columbus, we began working together with Bill Marshall to get a Columbus chapter off the ground. And that was one of the greatest things I did during my year in state government. We've had a number. One event that went incredibly well last year was an event with Elizabeth Wydra. She spoke about the Affordable Care Act litigation. That was before the opinion came down. And we invited a number of members of the local bench to come out. We thought we'd get a couple. We wound up getting, I think, about 10 or 12. And it was a high-quality event, a high-quality crowd, and everybody left, I think, quite edified. We've also had a number of events locally with the Federalist Society, and the discussions we've had there have been remarkably civil, remarkably productive, and I think informative for all people who attended. The biggest effect I think it's had for me as I've jumped from city to city. After Columbus, I was in D.C., and then I moved from D.C. back to Cleveland. But it's been an instant network as I jumped from city to city. I came from Columbus to D.C., and I already knew that there was going to be a chapter full of people who were ideologically simpatico and energetic and engaged, and I knew that I could fall right there and have instant friends and instant connections. And the same was true when I got back to Cleveland. I think in terms of pursuing active involvement in a local chapter, it's a great opportunity to talk to people who you would otherwise not have reason to talk to. As a member of the steering committee in Columbus, I got to call up the deans of the Columbus bar, so to speak. I had reason to talk to them. I had reason to ask them out to lunch. And that's a good way, I think, to learn the lay of the land of the local legal community. This is my 7th ACS convention in a row and my 8th overall. I've been coming back because of the quality of the programming and the quality of the networking. In terms of specific memories, I remember attending Janet Reno's dance party in 2004, which was a great, great time. Last year, Justice Ginsburg's speech was outstanding. I had no idea that she was as funny as she is. And I remember a couple years ago, the speech that Tom Perez gave. And I left that speech, as I've left just about every convention, feeling energized, feeling ready to devote more and more time to ACS, to keep building our chapter, and to expand the network further.